This one is gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna try my best to contain myself. Let's get into it. My female 21 boyfriend, male 24, opened our relationship. Stupid idea. Stupid idea. Now that I finally found someone, he wants to close it. Of course he does. Let's get right into it. It's gonna be funny. I come from a small town where everyone knows each other. I was raised in a very strict Catholic household. I had a pretty sheltered life growing up. No dating, no parties, none of that stuff. So when I moved to the city for college, it was a whole new world for me. I had total freedom. Remember, freedom always comes with a price. That's when I met my boyfriend. He's a little older, and honestly, he's the most amazing person I have ever met. He taught me so much about life and love and made everything feel exciting. I was completely over the moon when we became a couple. We've been together for 3.5 years now. I had so many firsts with him. Naturally, I assumed we would get married. He was my one and only ... Then about 8 months ago, he sat me down and told me he felt like our relationship was losing its spark. I was shocked because I thought we were doing really good. Okay, interesting. They're obviously on different terms. They're obviously, experiencing things differently. Maybe because it's her first relationship and it's probably not his first relationship. She is still getting used to a lot of things. She's still learning a lot of things. And for him, he might just be young and dumb. He might just be like, yeah, it's boring. I've experienced it before. The point is, she was shocked. So, of course, what happened? For a second, I thought he was about to break up with me, but instead he said we should open the relationship and explore polygamy. He said it's more normal now and that it could actually help bring us closer. Okay, let me know your thoughts about that down below. I was hurt, like really hurt. I couldn't believe he'd even ask me that, but I loved him too much. He's my first love. There you go. And I didn't want to lose him. So I said yes. That's very common for girls. A girl will never sacrifice as much or give up as much as she would for her first love. Guys, note this down. A girl will literally, I'm not even joking. Girls will always have that one first love and they will never again go through certain things or give up certain things for a future partner as they did for their first love. And I don't know why this is. It could just be because they just don't love anyone as much. There could be something else behind it, but it's just general. So of course she would have said yes because she was like, don't want to lose him. We'll see. But that first month, things didn't get better. I saw him less and less. He was always busy. I checked his social media and saw he started hanging out with some girl. She posted him all the time. I was burning with jealousy, but I didn't say anything. When I did see him, he was sweet like always, but it started to feel like he was just trying to make up for not being around. I felt like I was the one doing all the work, planning stuff, texting first, chasing after him, holding on so tight while he felt far away. At that point, it's like, I think for anyone that would be a pretty shitty feeling, because if you're really in love with someone and they're acting like that and they start hanging out with other people, and then when they're around you, it just feels like it's fake and it's put on because they're trying to make up for lost time and not be a dickhead, which they already are. It's like, I would feel shitty. I think any of you would feel shitty if your partner were doing that. So it's not really fair and it's not really right. And, I don't blame her. Obviously, he's a bit of an idiot, but I don't blame her because I understand that, she's in love with him. She doesn't want to give him up. She feels connected to him and she doesn't want to lose him. And she's willing to endure that pain in order to be with him. Then a few months ago, we were supposed to see a movie together, but he bailed on me last minute. I went anyway. Good for her. While I was there, I ran into one of my friends, and she was with her older brother. We ended up watching the film together after we grabbed some drinks, and I started noticing how attractive and funny he was. The older brother. I caught him looking at me in a certain way as well. Like maybe he felt something too. I didn't pursue anything, though this was also new to me. But liking someone else, that felt so weird. And I wasn't used to liking anyone but my boyfriend. But here's the funny thing. When you're in a relationship and one of you starts pulling away, naturally, you're going to feel disconnected. And naturally, the relationship is going to crumble to some degree. Because, the other person's going to feel like, okay, I'm chasing. I'm not getting anything in return. So what am I doing? And then that gives them the opportunity to then start feeling attracted to other people. So it really takes two people to constantly work on each other, to constantly work on loving each other and actively showing each other that they care in order for them to not wander or fall apart. That's a great way of putting it. He eventually found me on Instagram, the older brother again, and we started talking. I told him about the open relationship and being poly, and he was super chill about it. He said he was happy to spend some time with me without worrying about cheating. We started hanging out more, and honestly, I didn't feel so alone anymore. There you go. She was feeling alone in her relationship because her boyfriend made her feel alone. Now she has an emotional connection to someone else. And this is how cheating happens in so many other relationships, by the way, especially for women. Women who cheat usually feel emotionally disconnected from their partner, so they find that emotional connection to someone else. With men, it's many different reasons. I didn't feel like I had to beg someone for love. Even the little time I spent with my boyfriend started to feel enough because my heart didn't feel so empty anymore. One day after we'd become close friends, he kissed me on the lips, and it hit me I had feelings for him. Sexual ones. We ended up hooking up not long after. It was amazing. I felt wanted, cherished. He was so gentle, so generous. I couldn't get enough of him. It felt like he balanced me out in a way that I didn't know I needed. I finally understood what being poly could really mean, loving more than one person in a way that felt real and full. I grew very attracted to him. But here's the thing, she's no longer attracted to her boyfriend because in reality, you can't really love two people all the same. She felt loved now by this new guy because her boyfriend wasn't there for her, so she wasn't in love with her boyfriend anymore. At this point, she's losing feelings for the boyfriend and loving this other guy. She might still care about her boyfriend, but the love that she had before is definitely gone. We even joined the gym together and started working out. He's a busy guy, but always made time for me, always invited me into his world and his hobbies. I felt special. Then this week, my boyfriend comes to me and says, I think we should close the relationship and focus on each other. There you go. I was confused and I asked him why. Things are going really good for us. And he said, it's time to think about the future and building something serious. Then he brought up religion. You're Catholic, you should understand. Okay, this is interesting because he's the one who recommended it, right? If you want this to last, it has to be just the two of us. Now he understands. And that's exactly the point, because now he understands, okay, she's no longer in love with me. She's lost feelings for me because now she's focused on this other guy. And that's exactly how it goes. If you want to have a serious relationship with someone, you cannot be dating a bunch of other people because you're not going to be seriously investing into this person. They're going to be unsure of you, or you're going to be unsure of them, and it's not going to work. So he started hooking up with other people. He still loved her. She then started seeing other people, and then he got jealous. You see how stupid this is? Don't suggest something unless you're serious about it and you want to stick through with it no matter what. And otherwise, don't suggest it because obviously, it's not going to work long term. And then he starts to guilt trip her into the Catholic thing, which is stupid as well. When I hesitated, he started guilt tripping me like I was doing something wrong, like I wasn't thinking about us. I love him, I really do, but now I feel confused. I feel upset. I didn't ask for any of this. He opened the door and I just followed because I loved him. Exactly. I completely agree there. And now that I found a little peace, a little joy, he wants to shut it all down. It feels unfair. Just wanted this off of my chest. Okay, so I completely blame him in this situation. And if she had done that, I would completely blame her. Because again, you cannot guilt trip someone into doing something you want and then guilt trip them into taking back what you told them to do. It doesn't work that way. If you want a serious relationship with someone, you have to learn to put away your needs. You have to learn to put away some of your wants. You have to learn to put away some of your sexual, lustful desires, things like that. Because if you honestly want to make it work with someone, you need to learn that, okay, this person has to be my priority and I have to learn to love this person no matter what. Without the excuses, you make it work or you don't. And if you open the relationship, don't then guilt trip them into closing it again. Because obviously he's the toxic person in the situation. And if I were her, I don't think I would be with him at all. Because he seems to be quite selfish. Maybe she should date this other guy, or maybe find someone who isn't okay with being polyamorous. Because at the end of the day, I don't think polygamy really works. I don't think open relationships, tend to last. I don't think they really fulfill people either. And I think it's much more healthy and much more important for two people to come together and build something together, be each other's ride or dies. And it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort, but it's possible if you both really want to do it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are down below. This was pretty interesting for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts too, and I'll see you soon for another video. Have a great day.